Alright then. You're not getting through me.
Andra animat.
That's it!
How may I help?
Consider it dead.
How may I help?
Let's have it out! Die! Leave it to me! You're not getting through me. You're not getting through me. Well...
I'm not sure we need this loot anymore.
Curse my aim!
Can you stop cursing, lady?
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Can you please let Aether through there?
Leave it!
Thank you. This is my first time, yes, Mask.
To me!
What do the gods want me to do? The one group of the gods wanted me to strengthen current living beings with the essence of the dead souls. The other ones wanted me to grind them into the nothingness, so basically they can go into the void. And the other group wanted me to release the souls so they can be reborn. And the other one wanted me to infuse the souls into the Hollowborn children.
So much to you.
Hey, you're not getting through me.
Curse your eyes!
Oh, they didn't like me.
Bring them down!
Can you stop throwing shit at me, please?
What is it? No prisoners!
That is pretty much my thinking as well, Night Basilisk. If there is a way for me to get godhood out of this mess, that's the one we take.
Margren's fire casts light in dark places.
Just don't do whale ending then. Why is that Mask? I don't think whale was even the option for me. I guess we'll see. We'll see.
How may I help?
There's a lot of animat.
So much for you!
It will be soon if you didn't pick one before. I picked one before. I picked multiple before. If that helps. Probably doesn't.
That's it!
How may I?
I can do chain lightning as well. I want whale for my triple crown whale prize ring. Don't want to be spoiled. Yep.
How may I?
I'm very liking not going with that, so don't worry.
Help.
Curse! I'm blinder than a whorepox bat!
Recepta Ayek!
Yeah, I know, Mask.
Leave it to me!
Recepta Ayek!
I think I took... I don't remember which one I took. I took Perat's Boon.
Parathis!
Curse your eyes!
Parathis!
Curse your eyes!
Wretched shoulder. Ow.
On the hunt.
Return to the wheel? Yeah, I think it is.
I'm ready.
You're not getting through me.
No! Curse your eyes! Sakritu!
You're not getting through me.
Yes.
Leave it to me. Curses! I'm blinder than a whorepox bat.
Come on,
Leave
can
it
we
to
kill
me.
this?
I'll see it done.
Exceptional leather.
All right then.
Yeah, we are so needing this garbage loot now. Check these other sides as well.
It's no use. I need something stronger.
It's kind of strange. She keeps complaining about something stronger, and she's not even attacking anything yet. Which I found very confusing.
Tek Sunra.
So much for you!
Yeah.
How may I help?
Tek Sunra. That's it. You're not getting through me.
flame and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Daybreak. Morning Star. Superb guarding. Slaying Wildra. Nice. Preserve Death Reflection. I'm not actually sure why would you need all of these stuff at this point of the game. The Ancient Art still bears the impression of the 1,000 souls broken upon it. Your soul burns with the remembered suffering.
Nice and quiet.
I see something. Yes.
That's it! Need something?
Sakritu!
Hey.
Curse your eyes!
Huh? All done.
Mesh got the heal off.
Sakritu!
Worst shit ever.
Well,
Yeah, I'm full healing bullshit.
Nice and quiet.
can't stand much longer.
Get your blood! Get your blood! Durance! He's not moving.
Good trap disarm. Good job, guys. They just decided to
Of course.
run into the trap and trigger it. Because why not? I mean, that works fine for disarming a trap.
What is it?
It also perma-killed Durance, so...
Well, Sakritu!
And this is why we save it all the time.
Varanthus!
Preceptor Ayek!
I shall be discreet. Huh?
And what does the
Trap
flame
class? There is no trap class in the game. I just have massive skill for it. Mechanics. column of Ardor rises above you, stoic and silent. Its ridged layers are measuring stick for the passing of ages. You feel as it feels to you as a thick block of ice, and you perceive buried deep in its dim core a flickering flame, all but extinguished, yet preserved against the ravages of the elements. At your approach, the flame seems to steady and draw strength, and the layers separating it from you melt away, and you are bathed in its glow, a bright beacon in the gloom. The gloom seems to fade, as though you had adjusted to its intensity, and where it was, Yowara seeps into existence, an idyllic shade hovering above the moist prison floor. Though ageless, she appears somehow different to you now. A slight stoop to her courage, perhaps, or a trace of sunkenness in her eyes. There is a broad scar across her face, fibrous and wormy where the flames once lapped, unhealed even in death.
You've come back. I had thought to have set you on the right path ages ago. Or did I merely fail a second time? You are so different now from who you were then, yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here?
It would seem that I have unfinished business here.
I'd hoped after our last discussion you would find what you sought. Has it eluded you all this time? I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Theos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice.
Theos diverted them from the cycle. He seeks to empower Oedica and to blame Animancy for the damage he's caused.
After all this time, he would still stand against the tide.
You knew me when Theos did. There's something I need to know about that time.
I will tell you what I remember.
There's something about that lifetime my soul cannot let go of. I need to know what it is, and I'm running out of time. I see moments from that life of you, of the Inquisition of Theos.
I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also. It was just after the trial. You were agitated. I think because you started to consider that what I was teaching may have been true.
And what was that? Yovara's mouth tightens and her brow furrows, a look of pity. Her eyes shift back and forth between each of yours, and is as if looking for something that would help her decide whether to speak.
That the gods aren't real.
Polyshan throws her head back and laughs gleefully. Ha! Of course not. It all makes sense now.
I'd dreaded the idea from the moment the Delimgon suggested it. And yet, it almost feels like a relief. She's not serious.
Perhaps not to her. Many are those whom the gods have scorned. This is petty retribution.
Nonsense! Clearly she has not been on the receiving end of a god's ire. She'd know how real the gods can be.
What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
Who created these gods, and for what?
They were conceived by Engwyth, a society of high minds and broad concerns. Theos' people. In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Engwythans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found. Or if there ever were, they were gone. It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence? But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers. And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith.
This is why you started your own faith?
I never thought of it as faith, but I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith. I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine.
How did you discover this?
The Anguithan missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them. And in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be.
Later on, after I left the order, a few Anguithans found my words persuasive and joined my cause. They revealed what I did not already know. Is it true, what you thought?
You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution. But if you are bound for the same place Theos directs these souls, you will see for yourself as you once did. Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own.
That depends what kind of game you're looking for. I mean, if you want more action-oriented one, you would want Witcher 3, I would guess. And if you want a more traditional style RPG, then this one. Yovara scans her audience in silence, her eyes thoughtful, lingering on each member of your company in turn, finding interest in things unseen.
What if all the tragedy, all the persecution, came in defense of an imposter?
But that's not... That can't be right. Aethys, he's done miracles for people.
The power of the gods is undeniable. The truth of the story they weave is not. What if it were forbidden knowledge rather than fault that earned your doom? What of your guilt?
Yeah, that too, Matt Basilisk. This one is already out, we know this is good. But we can also expect that Witcher 3 will be good as well.
I have seen with my own eyes the deceptions of my goddess. The Watcher has shown me as much. But it was not until now that I understood how truly desperate she was. The depths of her deception.
You speak of her deceptions, but what of your own? Was it her words that led you down your path? Or was it the absence of her words? A gap that you filled with your own broken thoughts?
Beads of sweat coalesced on Duran's forehead and trickled down at the sides of his face in streaming rivulets, as though he were a block of ice standing before a great pyre.
What if you had always been alone, without guidance?
Well, as poorly as I've chosen my guides, I suppose it would be a comfort to know that I'm free of them.
The freedom has always been. It was the guidance that was the illusion. What if neither guide knew the way? How then would you choose a course?
If neither knew the way, Hiravius looks at her, his smile rising as he scratches his chin. Any student of Vale knows that your question is irrelevant. Regardless of if they are wise or not, the gods cannot give you lasting wisdom. They can only inspire you to find wisdom in your own time.
What if even mastery over all things cannot answer the most basic of questions?
Would like to play some good turn-based RPG as well. Like, I would love as well something like that. Definitely. I stopped asking those questions long ago. It is enough to care for those who we love with the time we have in this life. You feel a weight of Eora's translucent eyes upon your soul. What if we can be assured of nothing? Then the only value is in things we create ourselves. Pelagina nods in approval. Verus, we find purpose in ourselves and in the people in our lives.
There is bliss to be found in the things we create, but sorrow as well. Every creation bears the imperfections of its creator, and its creator's creator. Art and song are creations, but so are weapons and lies. We must be careful that our creations do not consume us. I ask these things not to trouble you, but to show why they must be confronted. No answer is simple, but somewhere between them all lies a truth so beautiful, not even a god could conceive it. Do we not owe ourselves a chance to find our part in it?
We do, even without assurance, since there is still truth.
If that is truly what you believe, then you are a far different person than the one I knew. I've been alone here with my thoughts for so long now. I've found peace with my failures, and with my punishment. I no longer curse fate for what might have been. But there is one thing that has clawed and scraped at my mind all these years. One thing that will not be put to rest until I know. Until I understand.
For the first time, hints of doubt trace her serene visage.
I need to know why you chose to remain with the Inquisition, even after you'd learned the truth. Do you remember?
She asks. The memory springs to your mind immediately, as though it had just happened. All of these are pretty horrible options. Done like this, done like this, done like this, done like this. This is a better. And these are pretty bad. Let's go with the fifth. I was afraid of what Theos might do to me if I didn't agree to do it.
Boudica gifted him a great many things, but his ability to manipulate was always his own. Good. The things I taught, the things I believed, I needed to hear that. I needed to know it wasn't because...
First one sounds best. I have no idea. Because I thought Theos was right. I needed to know it wasn't because, after everything you've learned, you'd still rather believe in a lie. If that is the conclusion people reach once they know everything, then my purpose has been a mistake. Did my opinion matter so much to you?
We knew little of each other before you arrived at my camp. You might have been anybody, which is why your choice meant everything. You had heard both sides, seen everything. If not you, then who?
I see your point.
I'm aware of the folly of trying to learn so much from so little. I've had time to consider that in all its facets. But in the end, it was all I had. Even knowing what you've told me, some part of me knows it doesn't truly answer what I wished to know, nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do. And what of your understanding of our past? Are you at ease with the choice you made?
I see the world different now than I once did. I regret what I did to you, and I wish your forgiveness.
You have always had my forgiveness, no matter your reason. There are circumstances behind that reason we all share. Knowing that, it is difficult to hold spite in one's heart. At first I thought this might be the source of your soul's anguish, but now I see I was mistaken. You are not divided on this matter. You have put it behind you. It is with Theos that your agony lies, in sun and shadow. Your questions are not for me, but for him. And it may be that only an answer from the mouth of Theos himself will satisfy your needs. Yet if there is anything I can tell you that would be of use, ask and you shall know.
Are you bound here until the end of time?
In a matter of speaking. This is Braeth Yamen, the court of the penitents. Souls are confined here until they repent. They must beg the forgiveness of a god, pledge their soul to them, and they will be lifted from this place to the world above. In truth, they receive leniency, but not true mercy. The spite of Woedica is eternal. They linger above, at the site of the old court, and are not permitted to leave the island, forever severed from the cycle. This prison was full once in the days of the Inquisition, but time weathers all things, even will. I'm the only tenant who remains. Yet, I feel their presence strongly now, as it was in the beginning. You have brought many of them here. They cry out for the judgment of Theos. You have struck some bargain with the gods, then.
I'm using the gods to further my own ends. I like that first one actually most. The other gods aid me because they want Theos destroyed. I owe them no debt.
They aid you because they would bend you to their own purposes. Engwith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing. But these souls, these forgiven the gods have bequeathed you like chattel. They were loyal followers in life. They will be with you to the very end.
Why don't you repent? You could be free of this place.
Last time someone asked me that, I was bound to an iron wheel with a broken spine. There are many things I've come to doubt about the choices I made in life, but that trial was my one moment of certainty, even without a chorus of gods to tell me I had been right. The gods need to be reminded that we have a spirit, and that spirit is proof against their power. They have the power to manipulate and confuse and ruin us, but not to change our will. I will remain here until the world crumbles and fades from existence, with joy in my heart, knowing I've shown them what they truly are.
This place is sun and shadow. What is it? I could tell you what I believe, but again, it would be no proof. I have only what I've seen and what others have told me about it. There is only one man who can tell you now, who knows it to a certainty, and you shall face him soon enough. I will leave you to see it for yourself, make your own judgments. Better for your soul that way, I think. How is it you speak Aedaran? I speak no language now, but the wordless expressions of the spirit. It is through my connection to you that I am able to draw upon your words and form them as my own. Do you know what it is I need from Theos?
I could not say for sure. But you have been to Sun and Shadow before, and it came at a crossroads in your life, when much of what you knew had been upended. I have to believe it will come to you there. Your concerns then were of loyalty and trust and the gods. Everything I told you seemed to send you further into doubt. His words mattered to you when you knew him then. After you and I spoke, you went immediately to seek him out. Perhaps you simply sought confirmation from the man you trusted. If something from that time still troubles you, it may be something he told you then, or refused to tell you. He keeps secrets better than any in this world.
Why has Theos done this all?
He cares only for the secret he keeps locked away. He destroys anyone who might discover it, no matter their chances. That's why he's always favored Woedica. It isn't in her love of promises or justice. It's her disregard for the rules. Her willingness to do what is necessary. To Theos, she's not a deity, but an ally with which to conspire. When her power waxes, she does as she pleases with this realm, as well as hers. And she wants that secret guarded as much as he. If Theos succeeds, there will be a shift in the balance of power among the gods. Woedica was vanquished once, when the other gods decided she had gone too far, and her power diminished. With this infusion, there is no telling what she will do. The only certainty is that there will be chaos in their realm, as well as ours.
How can I get Theos to tell me what I need to know?
You will not find a more resolute being on all of Eora. There is no offer you could make, nor spell you could cast, nor pain you could inflict that would make him reveal what he hides. But I see you have become a watcher in this life. Perhaps in defeat, when he can no longer defend himself, you might learn something from him.
Check, kill him, learn the stuff, go. It's time for me to go.
Theos will not wait for you. If you do not catch up to him now, you may never find him again.
The gods have given me the souls of their forgiven. If you repent, you could join with them. Help me strike the final blow against Theos. Let's go with that.
If I repent, all I have done has meant nothing.
Then I will waste no more time. Farewell, Yawara.
Your soul deserves an end to its suffering. I'm sorry I wasn't able to grant it myself. May it come to you swiftly. If ever we should meet again, in this life or any other, I hope to find you at peace.
Okay. Money. So we need money at this point of the game. Let's do a small camp here. Because why not? Was granted steps to the wheel.
What is it?
The Watcher gives his or her foes a glimpse into afterlife while displaying their souls, mortally paralyzing them and leaving them sickened.
Hey.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
So, it's true. The gods are a sham that people have followed for thousands of years.
Okay.
We've been lied to. Our whole lives, and many lives before that. And it's led us to put our faith in a pantheon of gods that never deserved it in the first place.
Theos is wrong. Most people are fundamentally decent. Knowing the truth can only make them better.
You're right. People will be better off finding direction on their own than following this farce. Besides, the gods haven't exactly done much to prevent us from slaughtering each other. If anything, they've only given us more pretenses for doing so. Seems like that's all they've been doing of late. I've also been thinking. There won't be much left of Theos by the time you're done with him, if I know how you operate. That will leave the Leaden Key headless. Perhaps it's best it stays that way.
No, someone should fill that role.
This is unexpected coming from you. Why keep it going?
Think of all the good you could do with that power. The world needs a guide more than ever.
Then let's face Theos. When this is all over, I'll remember what we've been through. I'll see the Leaden Key transformed into a stronger, better guide for Kith. And I won't make the mistakes Theos did. Doesn't that just beat all? Here I was, wondering all this time whether all these terrible things were people's fault or the gods. Turns out they might be the same thing. Wonder how things would have gone different 15 years ago if the Raid Sarens had been told their god was made in some forge or kiln someplace. Would we still have gone to war?
People were starving. They would have rebelled sooner or later.
I could see the rebellion still happening, but I don't know that they would have invaded.
He looks down at the ground, drumming his fingers against his side restlessly. When he speaks again, it seems half to himself.
I don't know. When Woden left for war, we, had a fight. As brothers will.
What about?
About him going off to war. He was set on it. My parents warned him. They said you get a new country with every trip across the border, but your god, you only get the one. Me? I didn't know who was right. All I knew was I didn't want him to go. It's the same for families as it is for gods. You only get the one. I said every vicious thing I could think of, trying to change his mind. He brushed it off. Just got me madder, of course, him being so calm. He said I should come with him, but he'd understand if I didn't want to. I told him he'd better be able to face his god one day and answer for what he'd done. He said he'd keep that in mind. And then, he was gone. By the time I'd cooled off, months had passed. One morning it dawns on me that my brother always knew better than me. If he was so sure of what he was doing, then I should be there with him. I packed my things and was on the road that same morning. Of course, what I didn't know then was he'd already changed his mind. By that time, he was dead on that field.
Do you think he went to Waidwen because of what you said to him?
Crossed my mind. You live in a place like Gilded Vale. You don't have a whole lot else to do other than think about things you don't want to think about. I hope that wasn't it. I hope he went there because it's what he thought was right. But it seems I'm not meant to know.
So if you had left with him, you would have known why he changed his mind.
If I'd have left with him, we'd both be dead, so I don't know why I bothered thinking about it. I found my own way in the end, and it wasn't my brother's and it wasn't my god's. I don't know if it was right. But I couldn't abide what Waidwen was doing to his own. God or not. I don't regret it. Whether Waidwen was Eothas, well, it hardly seems to matter after what we just heard. All these questions I've been trying to figure out. I think I just miss my brother.
Let's be on our way.
Still one more mess we gotta straighten out. Come on then. I still owe you one.
Yeah, you do. Lots of discussion down here.
Eyes open.
It's a bit dark down here.
Even my Stelgar eyes can't see in this darkness.
It's good we see that highlighted though. Ring of Searing Flames. I just went all over. Supernova all the place.
Full of surprises, aren't you? Huh? Can you do that again? I had something in my eye. I missed most of it.
We light our own path now, Watcher.
Gorst.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Ingwitan Shade. Yeah, that's probably not a nice enemy. Boots of Speed. Lots of magic equipment coming here. Lots of very unnecessary magic gear.
You're not getting through me.
Curse your eyes!
Curses! I'm blinder than a whorepox bat!
Leave it to me!
Curse your eyes!
Curses! I'm blinder than a whorepox bat!
Curse my aim!
I shall be discreet.
Oh, it's the Polygena's
Alright, then.
Harbinger ability that keeps spamming the missing thing. She doesn't really have anything to use it properly. Shadow Drake. Ah, that was a trap, if I've seen one.
Yes, so much.
We throw
Gorst.
just boom, everything goes down. We are leaving.
Huh?
I'm ready.
How's your trap now?
Need something?
This thing isn't doing the job.
Ready!
Still alive? Shut up.
Lava will be on sync.
Die!
Still alive? I need
The Shadow Drake is actually pretty cool.
This thing isn't doing the job.
That didn't work! Need to try something else!
That's not very helpful.
Yes. Yes.
Hey,
Where did they go? Just boop, up into the sky and gone. Sun in shadow. Well, the shadow in the cavern suddenly lengthens and swallows you. When your eyes adjust to the darkness, you find yourself in the midst of what must be another vision. You are surrounded by mists. The ground feels springy under your feet. You imagine that as soon as you take a step, the soil behind you will erase all trace of your passage. As if on cue, the mist before you clear just enough for you to take a couple steps forward. You do, and the fog closes behind you. You continue for several minutes in this manner, one step at a time, never seeing more than the ground right in front of you. Eventually, rays of light cut through the haze, and you find yourself facing a canyon wall. Duran's head twitches, as though a mosquito had flown into his ear. He swings helplessly at the air with his staff. Something whizzes past you. As you turn, you catch another whir of movement. Out of the mist flits a shape small and round. You think you see another and another. They trickle in the corner of your vision. You turn back to the canyon wall. The sun shifts along its path, and what looked like a smooth rock face is the hollow of a cave. The figure steps out, its features shifting and changing before your eyes.
Can it? It has to be. Wow! But I never thought he'd reveal himself in person. This is incredible. Even his form is fickle and unknowable. Amazing.
The figure transforms from female to male, from Orlan to Amau, its bones lengthening and its fur receding into its flesh. The only details that remain constant is the smooth, eyeless face. The whizzing, rushing shapes from the mist converge on the figure, and as they form a spinning cloud, you realize that they are eyes.
You understand the value of a mystery watcher. A buried scroll, a hidden truth. These are my ways. You unravel a thread, Watcher. One you have lost and discovered over generations. And following it to its end has only brought you back to the beginning.
The eyes track you even as they circle the god. What are you talking about? The whale giggles, a strangely modulated sound that rises and falls as the god shifts from one form to next. You seek and search while your foes obscure, and even your quest for answers to your past has only led you to another mystery, and one grander still. I'm here to stop Boudica from tipping the balance of power, which means that you must scatter the very thing she seeks.
A nebula of souls, blind and brimming with potential. The answer to Boudica's question and the beginning of yours. What would you do with them?
Thunderclouds form overhead, casting shadows of movement across the canyon. I think you got something in mind? The clouds break and the torrent rain washes Whale's features clean. His blank face molds itself again, taking on the shape of something you've never seen before. Do not consign the souls of the fate of some god's choosing. You have found them. Now scatter them across existence, their destination known to neither god nor mortal. Let them be lost again, new answers to new riddles. Behind him, a sudden downpour has carved new caves into the canyon. You say I shouldn't let a god decide their fate, but seems you're asking me to do just that.
In a way. But something must be done, and hurling them from the machinery of other schemes is the truest course of action.
What end would that serve?
No end, Watcher. That is the purpose.
But what would happen to the souls?
None know. They could end up anywhere in the realms of gods or mortals, whole or divided. Discovering them again and charting their course through the ether will be a new mystery.
Farewell, Whale.
That is a word for endings, and this is but a crossroads. Even I do not know what you would choose.
The shadows from the new caves melt and spread across the landscape, covering you in the darkness. When the light returns, the vision is gone.
Light, flame, sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Expecting another trap. I really wish there was a middle finger to all the gods option.
Curse my aim.
That's not very helpful.
Alive? I need something sharper.
This thing isn't doing the job. Yes?
Thick worth some rock.
To be honest, I'm disappointed if there is not an option for that.
Thick worth some rock. That's not very helpful.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Is it me or is this Shadow Drake bigger than the other one?
Curses! I'm blinder than a whorepox bat. Still alive? I need something sharper.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Need something?
Did it just get quiet?
Curse your eyes!
This thing isn't doing the job.
That was actually pretty cool spell effect. Because the enemy died.
I shall be discreet.
Be cautious. Be constant.
Can it go there?
Light,
Oh yeah,
flame, and sound.
the bridge is dead.
Hey. I shall be discreet.
Well? So much for you.
How may I help? Thick worth some rock.
Die!
Well?
Curse my aim.
Thick worth some rock.
Hey.
Eyes open.
Oh, that's Sun in Shadow Court.
Tell me,
Hey.